Welcome to No Gimmick Radio. Now here's your hosts, J-Rod and Matt. Cena retains, ROH takes another step closer to the mainstream, and TNA continues to lose their grip on their position as the number 2 promotion in the country. This is No Gimmick Radio. It is Friday, May 27th. I am J-Rod. With me tonight is Matt. Matt, say hello to the lovely folks at home.
Hello, lovely folks at home.
Another week has gone by in the world of professional wrestling. It is May 27th. We want to thank you for checking out this edition of No Gimmick Radio. We've got a lot of new stuff to get into today. We have a brand new Top 10, a brand new Under the Radar featuring Eric Young. We're very excited to bring that to you. Also, we've got news on the Sinclair buyout of ROH. We're going to get into that here in just a second. And results from the WWE and TNA shows, or Impact Wrestling, or whatever they're being called this week, whatever it is. Right now, I'm going to throw it to Matt. He's going to give you some of the details on the SBG buyout of ROH.
Sinclair acquires Ring of Honor wrestling franchise. This happened on, May 21st, 2011. Was that last Saturday, I believe it was?
I believe it was.
What this means for ROH is that, I'll read a quote from the CEO of Sinclair. It says, "We are very excited about this acquisition. Television and professional wrestling have a long history of successful partnerships and driving viewership."
I'd like to say that is probably the most obvious statement since The Ultimate Warrior was from Parts Unknown.
Yes. And here he goes, continues. "Unfortunately, the broadcast networks have not protected the relationship, allowing professional wrestling to migrate to cable network distribution. We believe that the powerful promotion platform that our TV stations provide, coupled with our 22% of the U.S. TV households, will allow ROH to achieve name brand recognition and grow its share of the wrestling market. When you consider the makeup of our station mix and the number of CW, MyTV, and Fox affiliates we operate, this is a perfect fit for our viewer demographics."
I think he brings up a good point there in that professional wrestling and the over-the-air television as opposed to cable television used to be a beautiful marriage back in the day when wrestling was territorial. A lot of the companies were able to operate. I know that was the whole shining point of the AWA was that Vern Gagne was able to get his wrestling on like the DuPont network and a lot of the stations in parts of Canada and all over Minnesota, Chicago. Even weird places too. I think Las Vegas was one of the places he was able to get TV ran out there too. So that is a good point. I mean, wrestling is viable in the separate markets, especially ROH is such an independent promotion. Guys from everywhere, guys that work in all kinds of organizations, Chikara Pro and Dragon Gate and all those places come to ROH to work. And ROH definitely is, of the indies, is the biggest one.
Yeah, and this is definitely, it seems like the way they're promoting this, it seems like it's a throwback to those days where it's a territorial thing. I mean, it's going to be on different networks. It's not just going to be on USA.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's actually, it's going to be, I mean, it can't hurt ROH to be available in more markets on television, especially for people that can't get out to the shows, people that can't, make it to the arenas or the armories or the whatever have yous, the fairgrounds as it is around here. People that can't make it out to the shows, and they're going to get a chance to see a product they've never seen before. Matt, there's been a lot of things said on the internet about the availability and distribution of the ROH show. What have you learned as far as where ROH will be available and how it will be available to the viewers?
Well, yeah, there's been a lot of confusion saying, people online saying that, I have a My Network TV in my city. That means I'll get Ring of Honor, right? That's not necessarily true. These are only Sinclair Broadcast Group stations. So if you don't have one, you most likely won't get Sinclair, or you will not get it on your TV, but it will be on the internet. They will be broadcasting it on the internet. That's another important thing. But it's only on CW, MyTV, and the Fox network affiliates. It looks like Sinclair is going to air that on. So I'm not sure exactly how they're going to be promoting it. The rumor is, actually, I heard this morning, I was saving this for you. We were talking before the show, but I was saving this for you. It's apparently going to air Saturday nights, possibly 9 or 10 o'clock, depending on what station, what market. It's syndicated. So what that means is it's not like, an office. It's not Thursdays at 9 every time. It's whatever the local market decides. So it will, I don't know, they say the CW here in Dayton, Ohio. Mm-hmm. Or actually, excuse me, since it's My Network TV. Say it airs on there. We could air it Saturday at 7 p.m. It's not going to be prime time. There's no guarantee. It could air 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's that station's dependency. So something the viewers, fans will really, really have to check.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is kind of makes it apparent that the fans will continue to have to watch ROH the way they did before and really make an effort to get behind it. And if you're not getting it in your local network, I think the best way to go about trying to get it is talk to your local stations. If you have any Sinclair affiliate stations that aren't carrying it, talk to them, tell them you want to see it. And if you get enough demand, I think it's word of mouth at this point that's going to get them moving even farther. And you got to wonder at this point, is ROH's thing, is this a stepping stone for them to a major deal? We know they did HDNet, and actually, I watched the HDNet shows. I was very impressed with the production value. I'm told that the Sinclair show will be having even higher production value. They're going to put even more money behind the show, maybe even get them into some bigger buildings. You never know what could come of it. Obviously, the details are sketchy at best at this point. I think they're supposed to start filming the shows, I believe, later in the summer, August, September.
Right. Actually, this is I'm reading from the official press release from Sinclair Broadcast Group's website. They're going to have an official press conference, mainstream media, press stream announcement that'll air on Sinclair Broadcast Group's website, so you can check it out there. It won't be until June 24th. So right now, all we have to go through is this press release that you can find on sbginet.com.
And that is the official press release. If you go to the website, you can download the press release and read the news. That's the only official news. Obviously, there's a ton of rumors out there. I've seen lists of television markets that they're supposed to be in, and you just can't really go by any of that stuff. It's that stuff's all hearsay. You just have to go by what you can find on the Sinclair website. So for now, that's what we know. That's what we know of the Sinclair buyout of ROH. And in closing on that section, on that segment, the only thing you can hope is that this is the best thing for ROH. I think ROH has the best athletes, the best wrestling, some of the best talent in the entire world in terms of between the ropes wrestling. It's in ROH, and I mean, you just think of some of those guys getting a shot, and ROH itself getting a shot in the arm and being able to grow their business, get into bigger markets, do bigger and better things, run bigger buildings, bigger towns. I mean, that's what it's all about, is the evolution of the company.
There's nowhere to go but up for this company right now.
Absolutely.
People are trying, there are a lot of pessimistic people out there. There's nowhere to go but up. No matter what you hear about what Sinclair Broadcast Group has been through in the past or what they're going through now, this is a major step up for Ring of Honor.
Absolutely.
And I don't think Sinclair is going to touch the product. You're not going to hear anything about the network or anything like that. No TNA network thing. I think the product will stay what it is and what RH fans have come to know and love.
Well, ROH has some incredibly intelligent minds behind the scenes running the show, and Sinclair's got to be smart enough just to let them do their thing. I mean, I don't see Jim Cornette he didn't put up with crap from Vince McMahon. I don't think he's going to take crap from the Sinclair Broadcasting Group.
No, and it looks like they're just going to keep the current employees. It says ROH employees will be hired, including longtime pro wrestling personality and matchmaker Jim Cornette, who will serve as VP of Creative. Veteran promoter Gary Juster will join as VP of Operations, and Kerry Silken will remain in an advisory role. So it looks like they're going to keep the same management. No network executives coming in. So
a very cool deal for ROH. Like I said, we're gonna close that segment out. We've got a ton of stuff to get into today. Tons of headlines. I'm just gonna run through a couple of them for you guys real quick. We all know that last week the news in professional wrestling was dominated by the death of Randy Macho Man Savage. With good reason, a true legend passes away. We've all over the internet today, any website you go to that's professional wrestling related, you got tributes to him. Other wrestlers that were affected by him or any way it helped in his career have released videos, tweets, posts on Facebook, whatever you got, in tribute to Macho Man. So it really shows you what he meant to the people. But I was a little disturbed today when I read on WrestleView.com, that's the citation there, I want to make sure they get credit for this, that at a wrestling event over the weekend, I don't know, I'm assuming it was just a show or maybe a convention, Brian Knobbs was quoted as to have been making fun of the Macho Man when he learned of his death, which is just, you don't have words for it. It's so disgusting. I mean, it's you don't want to use the word blasphemy, but at the same time, That's kind of what it is. You're talking about a guy, Brian Knobbs, who, okay, you're one of the nasty boys. That's fine. This is Randy Savage. He's a true legend. And whether you want to be an on-the-paper jerk or not, the guy deserves your respect. And a couple of guys that were at the show, Sean Waltman, who everyone knows as X-Pac, also knee-deep in China. Just kidding. He was quoted as to saying he was disturbed by it. It was, uncalled for. Obviously, I mean, you always hear about wrestling being this fraternity of guys, blah, blah, blah. But, it just shows how underhanded and jerk-offish some guys will be. And it really is upsetting.
I know that some wrestlers live their gimmicks. But, I mean, when a true legend passes away, there's a line. There's always a line.
Absolutely. If you can find Knobbs on Facebook, just blast him. Get over his wall. Tell him he's a jerk. He knows he's a jerk, but even still, there's nothing you can do at this point. Macho Man's gone. Nothing can be said to bring him back, but there is absolutely a line for taste, especially if you're living your gimmick or not. There's a line for taste, and, I don't know. We're going to move on. That's absolutely a subject that could keep me pissed off all night, but moving on. Speaking of knee deep in China to get back into the adult entertainment industry. If you were unfortunate enough,
I have not heard this news, so you're breaking this to me right now.
Breaking news to Matt at the moment. China is getting back into the adult entertainment industry. As of today, second film, maybe even the third. I did hear about a second one, but I never knew that there was a release of it. But her next, I guess we'll say, adult entertainment film is to be released later this year. I believe filming starts... Who cares? Who's actually going to watch it? If you watch the first one, you're a sick person, or you really enjoy the National Geographic Channel. One of those two.
The sad thing is people bought that.
Yeah, I remember reading it. It sold pretty well. I have never seen it. Don't intend to see it. And if you intend to see it or wanted to see it or have seen it, I know a number of a great therapist. I can get you some help, and we can move forward with your life.
If you don't want to be my friend, I think you should buy that movie.
Absolutely. If you absolutely want me to delete you from my Facebook and my Twitter, go buy that porno, please. Got some news on the Nature Boy. Financial peril is following Nate wherever he goes. A warrant.
I don't know if this is actually news, because he's been in financial peril before.
We read today a warrant has been issued for his arrest in regards to a settlement made with highspots.com. The settlement was issued between Ric Flair and the company at $35,000, and Ric Flair also had to sign 300 photos. Ric Flair, I don't know which portion of the settlement he didn't follow through with. It'd be really stupid to pay someone $35,000 and not sign the 300 photos. So I'm assuming they probably got their photos, but not their money. Ric Flair defaulted on the judgment. So in the county that Ric Flair is from in North Carolina, a warrant has been issued for his arrest, rather. And Nature Boy is in some money trouble, and this is nowhere near the first time that anyone's heard of this.